Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and human rights advocates. Personally, I'm very sad to listen to endless story of sufferings here and there, everywhere in the world. And also, it's very sad to speak about these sufferings which is continuing in North Korea for 3 generations, not 1 term or 2 term of dictatorship, but eternal dictatorship going on in North Korea. North Korea is notorious enough to shoot missiles many times on holidays, American Independence Day and Chinese National Day. And it is notorious enough, to have a New Year's Day nuclear test while starving their millions of people. And now it is notorious enough to kill Daylight, the half-brother of Kim family in Malaysia a few days ago, just a few days before his father's birthday, 75th birthday. It was February 16. I'd like to draw your attention to the situation in North Korea, and having background as a Revolution Fund manager for Jang Sung-taek, Kim Jong-un's uncle, and North Korea's leadership. I'd like to talk today about the so-called royal court economy of North Korea, how the leadership raises hard cash and where it goes. And you can find reference of my speech here to the contributed paper to the World Affairs Journal. Following the collapse of the global socialist market, an unexpected thing happened on North Korea's road to financial oblivion. The same economy that cannot produce a usable enough toothbrush is now arming itself with nuclear weapons. The central riddle of this is wrapped in the mystery of its economic structure. An economic corpse has been able to produce such nuclear achievements by creating a secret, invisible financial system, scavenging off the West, and the military and industrial complex which I named Royal Court Economy. This was solely created to service Kim's interests and obsessions, including the development of nuclear weapons. And this separate economy creates, by my estimates, fully 200 times the foreign cash revenue of the cabinet-run people's economy. The first stages of constructing a secret pipeline for diverting the flow of funds from the state coffers to the rulers' free disposal began in 1970s. The munitions industry was excised from the cabinet while establishing the Committee for Economy II in 1972 to run this sector. At the same time, his heir, Kim Jong-il, created a new Central Party department called Office Number 39, and under its umbrella, Daesung General Bureau emerged, forming a new economic sector completely independent from the central planning and cabinet control. The ensuing advent of new foreign exchange banks would also contribute to this process. In that journal, there is a chart, and on the left side, there is the line, the flow of the funds through the cabinet system, the so-called central planning economy, and the right side, the royal court economy side, where how the fund is flowing there to the leadership. And this left side of the chart represents the standard mono-bank communist system that the West is familiar with. Controlled by the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, this people's economy receives the guidance of Korean Workers' Party Planning and Finance Department, now changed into Economy Department last year, and the National Planning Commission sets and enforces the public 5-year plans. The Korean Foreign Trade Bank, FTB, the only bank in North Korea that is ostensibly authorized to manage the foreign currency transactions of the people's economy, functions as the bank for the cabinet ministries. Yet, in truth, the bank has been technically bankrupt long time ago. The right side of the chart, the royal court economy, is directly controlled by Kim, designed to focus on foreign trade and the generation of hard currency revenue, and to directly funnel it back to him. Each group is credited as a conglomerate, including operational planning, production elements, a trading division, ship management, including and investment capabilities. Most critically, they enjoy independent hard currency management and their own dedicated exchange banks. Office number 39 and Daesung Bank have continued to handle manufacturing and trade since first being established in the 1970s, while office number 38, these number were named after their offices on floor 3 of Kim Jong-il's office building at the Central Committee of the party. And this office number 38 on Korea Bank, both now merged into office number 39, had handled the service industry, hotels and department stores, and cater to foreigners. So the most lucrative foreign cash generating businesses and industries belong to this royal court economy, Kim family economy. And Korean Workers' Party organization, Korean Workers' Party's guidance and organization and guidance department, that is abbreviation is OGD, the most powerful department of the party, responsible not only for overall organization but party life guidance and determining the political fate of party officials and institutions through internal inspection, punishment, and purges, was also granted control of one, among others, of the most lucrative areas in North Korea's international operations, insurance. Although there are other forms of illicit activities, such as counterfeiting, product piracy, and drug trafficking, and with the exception of the munitions industry, the largest generation of foreign currency for Kim comes from claims filed through international insurance operations and insurance frauds. KNIC, Korean National Insurance Corporation, is not at all concerned with losses or the results of internal North Korean insurance operations. In fact, the common understanding in the industry is that the more accidents and misery there are in the nation, the more hard cash goes to Kim and his family. Every year, while working at KNIC as a birthday celebration, birthday gift, we presented $20 million cash on Kim Jong-il's birthday, produced as the direct result of suffering by the North Korean people. In this manner, KNIC maintains its exclusive privilege and access. Specifically, domestic insurance operations of the KNIC based on the North Korean currency, the won, are little more than an automated paper trail in which operations are planned by the state, claims are filed by the state organizations, and payments are made to those same state organizations. With no concern for providing coverage for risk, but solely for generating hard currency by KNIC, we could shift and distribute the largely mythical internal costs to international reinsurers, mainly via the brokers. Thus, the normal system of distributing insurance risk freely between Western companies becomes completely unglued in the North Korean case for two reasons. First, because there will be a few or no prosecution for fraud. If there are questions, it will usually end up in the North Korean court system, where the result is preordained. So all courts are controlled by the party and the government, so there is no independent ruling from the court. Second, because KNIC was able to maintain reinsurance policies by making it appear as if the Western exposure was essentially rational. KNIC did this by paying higher premiums on policies that are again quite rational, considered higher risks. Yet KNIC accepted these high prices because no matter what actually happens in the fiscal world, they will inevitably make claims for reimbursement. Every year, a claim is carefully planned and targeted, and one year it may be a fire, the next year a flood, and after that, machinery failure, sunken ships, or dead livestock. By employing KNIC's overseas operations to make a free grab, we have a kind of, saying. We are saying that a free grab in the air. With various, reinsurance companies, North Korea has been able to produce prodigious sums of hard currency while simultaneously reinvesting, expanding the network of KNIC insurance operations around the world's major operational regions, always shifting table to table, always operating with a fresh deck from London to Paris, Germany to Pakistan, and Switzerland to Singapore. The danger to the West goes far beyond fraudulent claims, indeed. That is a common hazard of doing business with the developing world, or even the suffering of the North Korean people. The danger lies in the transfer of Kim's dollars from the royal court economy into development of North Korea's nuclear arsenal and WMD, and the proliferation of those assets around the world. The head of the arms sale structure, sometimes called the second economy, is the Korean Workers' Party Munitions Industry Department. To explain what this agency actually does and to estimate the size and scale of revenue, we can check the total assets of munitions-related banks. The most prominent is Dancheon Bank, widely known as Changkwang Credit Bank. They changed these names, to avoid UN sanctions and international sanctions. During the 1990s, Dancheon advertised that it was handling $6 billion assets. Although North Koreans like exaggerating such figures, this doesn't diminish the fact that Dancheon remains the largest bank in North Korea in terms of assets and operation volume. I estimate, that Dancheon Bank may have handled several hundreds of millions of dollars every year, most of which are generated from sales and proliferation of WMDs. And actually, the FTB, Foreign Trade Bank, which is handling the whole foreign cash of the cabinet of the people's economy, they have only around $7 million in cash. The royal court economy may have been expanded under duress as a short-term answer to the Soviet bloc's collapse, but it has since become a ruthlessly successful adaptation for Kim's purposes. It serves as a backbone of regime survival, undrained sources for Kim family, Kim family extravagancy and funding for nuclear ambition at the expense of majority of North Koreans. I call to governments, international organizations, NGOs, and human rights advocates to pay close attention to this conglomerate and in our efforts to stop North Korea's imminent nuclear threat, to improve human rights situation in North Korea, and to implement all UN Security Council resolutions, including the latest 2321. The most effective remaining option for us is to expose, boycott, and bring down this royal court economy. Thank you for your attention.